Alright guys, just wanted to go over this real quick. This video is for entertainment purposes only. It is not a instructional video. It is not a how-to video. It is no way intended for you to modify your gun or for me to teach you how to modify your gun, because that's against all things here at YouTube land. It's just for entertainment. Do with that you must. But as always, I recommend a qualified person to work on their firearms only. No do-it-yourself rednecks like myself.
Alright, we got a load. Fire. Shot. It didn't cycle. There's the next one. Shot a log. Log was a lot louder than the freaking gun. But it's not ejecting. Look at this. It's getting all caught up.
Alright guys, so here's me measuring the gas port. I've been fighting with this thing to cycle subsonic. It doesn't even cycle supersonic, let alone subs. I've contacted Bear Creek multiple times. They told me to polish the feed ramp to get it to load. That ended up working. And then switching mags to the 400 Legend mag, that got it to load, and the cartridge right, but now it won't eject. I've got a I'll flip you around and show you this bolt carrier group, and then I have a yellow spring on order from Springco, but I got a feeling it's not going to make a difference. But here's my gas port. So this is the drill bit that fits, and you can see that we're measuring at 0.078. Pull this out, we'll measure this a little bit better. Trying to do this all one-handed. Alright, so 0.074 is what the drill bit that fits tight in that gas block is. So, got a feeling I'm going to be drilling out a gas block. So, I'm going to wait for the yellow spring to come in, and the reduced power spring from Springco. We'll try that, and then after I try that, if that doesn't work, I guess I know now what I need to do. I've done a little bit of research, and from what I understand, it needs to be 0.9-ish to 0.1 thousandths of an inch. So we'll keep tinkering away. I'd love for this thing to get running before deer season, because I'm going to try and take a deer with it, suppressed. I do have an Odin Works enduro on the end, which adds pressure to the system, but still won't cycle, won't run. The suppressor's not rated for supersonic at this barrel length, so I don't know what the supersonic suppress does, but subsonic suppress doesn't cycle, and then supersonic unsuppressed will not cycle. So, to be continued.
Alright guys, let's go over what's happening. 338 arc, Bear Creek, 7.5 inch barrel. Got it straight out the box, doesn't cycle. I had an H2 buffer silent spring in it, changed that out to a carbine buffer, and took a regular spring and cut it down to reduce the power a little bit. I know it doesn't quite work that way, but it helped out a little bit. It has gotten to where I put a Odin Works low mass bolt carrier group in it. It will extract the round, but it won't lock back. It won't feed a new round. I had this on my Palmetto State Armory lower, and it wouldn't feed around at all. It was so tight they wouldn't marry together. So Bear Creek told me they recommend obviously their lower. So I bought their lower.
Alright, this is what this thing's doing. I pull back, it gets extremely tight right here. And then it kind of locks itself. But you see this slides in. It's not the bolt catch. But the weird thing is if I push on the trigger, and you can see it's on safe, it goes forward and releases. I don't know why it's getting stuck. I can't even get it to charge all the way back. But it goes forward when you touch the trigger.
As you can see there, flat dark earth. That's kind of what I go with the pistols. And then now it cycles. Well, it is smooth for cycling. So where we're at is sometimes extracts, doesn't load a new round, won't lock back on the mag. This is a 400 Legend, and it also says /338 ARC Duramag on here. I believe it's Duramag. So I got one supersonic round. It also wouldn't lock back on the supersonics either. So what I'm going to do is I drilled the port out. The port was 0.07 and some change. I drilled the port out, gas port, to 0.09. So theoretically this should be the fix. I also have a Springco yellow reduced power spring coming. It won't be here for a couple of days. So what we're going to do is we're going to send a full power round through it first, just to make sure I cleaned it, there's no burr, everything goes fine. We'll put the suppressor on it, we'll throw some subs on it. I obviously left all the stuff off of it, the handguard and the scope, because I don't want to keep putting it together. And I had to get out here. It is pouring rain, but I had to see if this thing would work. I've been fighting with this thing for so long. So let's give it a roll. Eyes and ears, because who knows what's going to happen. And I am not a certified gunsmith. I am a redneck that knows how to use tools, so do not do this at home. Here we go. Oh, we got a lock back. We got a lock back. So, I think we're closer, obviously. Let's get the suppressor. Odin Works Enduro. Gun is obviously unloaded. There was only one round. Everything looks to be fine. Gas port is still there. So that was the Hornady 215 black 338 ARC. So now I have the Hornady 307 subsonic. She goes home. Let's see. Oh, and it locks back. We have a fix. All right, let's not get too excited. Let's put 2 more rounds in it and see if it fully cycles now. And this thing is stupid quiet. Blow it around. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I regretted buying a Bear Creek Arsenal. I got a couple other of them. I have a 6.5 Grendel. We bought a 350 Legend, I believe, through them. But they are cheap, but they do require a little bit of tinkering. The other one's not as much as this one, but here we are. It looks like my ejection pattern is right at 3 o'clock, straight over the camera. So I feel like we got a fix. Satisfied customer now. And I'm getting tore up, so we're gonna go ahead and get out of here.
All right, guys. So out here with the final stages of testing with this 338 arc. Show you what I got set up. I got a chronograph. Of course, we got the coffee. That's the important thing. We've got our 338. That's with the 7.5 inch barrel from Bear Creek. And then I got some Frontier from Hornady 338. And then you see it's 1050. Forgot the tripod, so do the best we can with setting things up so you can get a view of stuff, but you won't get a whole lot of action shots here. I've worked out this thing quite a bit. I just got in the sound mitigation buffer spring, so I'm going to try that with the low mass bolt carrier group. And I drilled the port out to, I believe it's 9,000 7-inch. It was 7,000s. So we'll see. My homemade rig setup, it worked. You'll see that in the video somewhere, because this is going to be like a hodgepodge of several days, weeks, almost a month's worth of trying to get this thing straight. But when we get to it, we'll get shooting. All right, so we have a cycle, we have a lockback on an empty round, and we're ejecting. You can see sitting here, rounds down there by the bowling ball. Bowling balls in a later video to come. So 3 o'clock ejection, that's pretty good. I think that's the secret sauce. So if you buy a Bear Creek short barrel pistol 338 arc, don't ask them questions because they're not helpful. I'll leave it at that. Go with a low mass bolt carrier group from Odin Works, and then I have the, let's see if I can find the paper. Yeah, but got the arm spec sound mitigation buffer. You see it's the carbine length. You can trim these based on their directions. You can take 12 coils off. I ended up taking off 5. Or I'm sorry, 10. So it took 10 coils off. And I believe it flashed 1015 for feet per second. So pretty good for a little teeny short barrel. Pretty satisfied now with everything that's rolling, but it would have been nice to work out of the box, but I guess that's what you get for buying cheap. But would I recommend it? Knowing all the things I know now, because there's not much info out there for 338 arc, I would recommend it. But you know the things you need to do if you buy this specific setup. So 1, don't use a PSA lower, use a Bear Creek lower. 2, just go straight to it and drill it out. If yours is 700 7-inch, I believe, 0.07, yeah. And then you're gonna have to spend a little bit of more money. So do you buy a more expensive one to begin with that has the things that it needs, or do you just go cheap and piece it together? I don't know the answer, but for now, I'm pretty happy with what I got. So you'll see some rest of the videos here, and will follow me through this journey. Just show you once more here where I've been sitting. Gun is facing towards where the ejection port is, and you can see all them little brasses out there, all those little guys, right at 3 o'clock. So like I said, requires some tinkering, but shot 20 rounds of this Frontier here as I'm sighting in the gun. I got it dead on at 50 yards. It's probably a 1/4 of an inch group, if that, which subsonic, short barrel suppressed. I'm not gonna shoot over 100 yards with it. This is mainly going to be a deer hunting toy that I'm going to use on a bow stand that I hunt. So well within 100-yard range is where the deer go. But through the 20 rounds of this Hornady Frontier, I only had 2 failure to feeds, and then one of maybe the 5 lockbacks failed. So that spring, that Armor Spec spring, I can still take off 2 more coils. I might go back and take off 2 more coils, and that should help out a lot. But like I said again, I don't want to beat Bear Creek up too much because I do have a few of their other guns, the 6.5 Grendel and whatnot, and they run good. It's just this one, you figure their testing and R&D, they would change some things and get it squared away before they send these things out. But and if they have a need for that position, although I'm not a professional gunsmith, just an amateur, I'm willing to do OJT. So just hit me up. You know my channel. That's it for now, though. This was fun. But we'll hopefully catch you on the next one.